Hello, and welcome back to Martin's Movie Corner. I'm very excited to be back on camera and talking about movies again. When creating this series, I wanted it to be a way to reflect on the films I went to see in theaters, and recommend to others if this is something that they should maybe check out or consider seeing themselves. This past weekend, I had the opportunity of seeing Christopher Nolan's latest film, Tenet. My friend and co-host of Duel of the Takes, Josh, hosted a private screening in his hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Tenet broke the 201-day streak since the last movie I saw in theaters back in February. Christopher Nolan's latest film, Tenet, has to be one of the most anticipated films of all time. Not only because of the pandemic closing theaters nationwide, but because Nolan is simply one of those directors whose name alone sells tickets. I had a lot of fun with Tenet. The narrative structure has similar, if not exemplified, issues of Nolan's previous work. The first act is extremely heavy-handed, and it was honestly rather concerning while I was sitting in the theater. The opening action sequence was not only unnecessary, it was confusing, and poorly edited compared to many of the other action sequences presented in the film. However, once you get past the rather clunky and awkward first act, this film's time travel premise shines through. Some truly impressive visual set pieces and action. My favorite of which involves a heist-like maneuver in a private art gallery at an airport that you get to see the same action sequence from multiple different perspectives. The cast is really solid throughout the film. Even while delivering some of Nolan's most ridiculous exposition to date, Kenneth Branagh specifically brings a lot to a very stereotypical, almost Bond-level villain. Whether it be scenes of violent outbursts or more heavy-handed exposition, he really chews the scenery and stole my attention. If you like Nolan's other work, specifically Inception, this will be a film for you. Its thin but dense premise lends to speculation for endless rewatches. Especially with some information revealed at the very end of the film, I can't wait to rewatch this in the comfort of my own home, with subtitles on, looking in the background of every action sequence. Over on Letterboxd, I gave Tenet a 4 out of 5 stars. I think with a heavily flawed first act, this film won me over in a very big way, with its impressive and bombastic action sequences and a relatively unique take on not only the time travel premise, but the spy genre as a whole. Another movie I saw this holiday weekend, I'm Thinking of Ending Things. The latest adapted screenplay and directed film by Charlie Kaufman is another highly anticipated film for me this year. I found Kaufman's deal to distribute this film through Netflix intriguing, and I hope it's lucrative for both parties. However, I believe this to be his most surreal project to date. Even films like Synecdoche, New York, and Adaptation have a little bit more reality to ground yourself to. So, although I'm Thinking of Ending Things might physically be Charlie Kaufman's most accessible film, I'm worried that a little less open-minded audience members will not enjoy this project for what it is. With a relatively simple story, a young woman played by Jessie Buckley is on a road trip with her new boyfriend Jake, Jesse Plemons, to visit his parents' farm and come back in time for her to go to work the next morning. However, you can't expect to fully comprehend what this movie is trying to say on a first view. Whether it be the main character's name changing every time she's introduced, to the parents' age changing every time they enter a room, to an interpretive dance sequence as a climax, this movie is dense with symbolism, extended metaphor, and honestly, some laugh-out-loud satire. This movie as a whole, I can confidently say, feels like watching a bad dream. Scenes transition mid-conversation, characters don't even act human, some conversations seem to never end, and other fantastical elements are introduced to an overall outlandish journey. I'm Thinking of Ending Things is certainly not for everyone. If you have never seen a Charlie Kaufman film before, I don't think that this is the one to start with. I would highly advise checking out Adaptation or Being John Malkovich before giving this one a shot. This film will make you feel as if you're going insane at times. The ambitious project succeeds on all fronts, and this is a movie I will be rewatching many times. Over on Letterboxd, I gave this film a 4.5 out of 5 stars. However, I feel with more viewings and time to sit on the themes, I feel that this could be another 5 out of 5 for Charlie Kaufman's filmography. Thank you for watching today's episode of Martin's Movie Corner. If you want to read more reviews of movies that I've seen recently, including Bill and Ted Face the Music and Spike Lee's Da 5 Bloods, follow me on Letterboxd at NateMartin899. I'll see you next time.